As I go through life, something I recognize I struggle with is boredom. I find the average existence to be very monotonous, very tedious, time consuming, but you're not really doing much. Not much is happening in moving the ball forward or progressing towards any sort of worthwhile goals in the average day. And even when you are going towards your goal, sometimes things can get very monotonous. And I came across I guess, a framework or like a structure or exercise that really helped me with this. And this was definitely stolen from Andrew Tate, but I don't think this is a video that many people see of him because it was in like one of his courses. But what he basically made was you need to make a villain. You need to make an arch enemy of senses, a rival to you. And I made this over a year ago. And I was looking at it, and I stopped using this structure, and I'm going to go back to it because I think it was very beneficial. And basically, the premise is that you need to have a firm idea of the person that you want to be. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this person tangible, very real. And you need to understand that this person that we're making, he or she is a version of you that does everything they're supposed to do. Everything. Because in your head, you know what sort of person you want to be. You know the sort of guy that you would be proud of, that other people would be proud of. And you're just not doing those things. And a way to help this is to gamify life. And this also battles the boredom aspect. Because sometimes things are very boring, especially like you're on a self-improvement journey. Maybe you may be in a period of isolation or a time you don't have a lot of friends. You're not hanging out with a lot of people because you're focused on your shit. So you got to find ways to enjoy the little things of life. And bit of a tangent really quickly, but I remember back when I was younger, back when I was a child, I'm not an only child, but the way it's set up is that I had two younger sisters that lived with me, but they're much younger than me. So I was almost like an uncle to them almost. I was so much older than them. And then I have brothers and sisters that are closer to my age, but I never lived with them. And then when I was in sixth grade, I moved away from the city that most of them were in. So I don't have a very strong relationship with those people. So I would say I really grew up as an only child for the most part, for the majority of my childhood. And what that forces you to do is you have to use your imagination a lot. You have to get creative with entertaining. Maybe not so much in today's age, which honestly I don't think is a great thing. But back then, I had to figure out ways to entertain myself. I had to figure out ways to just not fucking die of boredom. I played with Hot Wheels. I would have elaborate imaginary like tournaments with all the different anime and cartoon characters that I knew. I would have just like imaginary tournaments, and I would have like fucking 64-man rosters or 128-man rosters, and I would go all the way down to a winner. Like, but this was the sort of stuff that I had to do to entertain myself. This is back before, we had social media and a shit ton of video games. And I didn't grow up essentially like when I was younger, I would say I was poor. When it was just me and my mom, we were definitely poor. Things changed a little bit. I would say we jumped into middle class once she got married to my stepdad. We became like a middle class household. But before that, poor. So I didn't have a lot of shit. I had fucking Hot Wheels, and that was it. So I had to fucking come up with shit. And I look at this, creating your villain, creating an alternate version of you. put a name on this motherfucker as well, is that it gamifies life. Because the more you take away all these excess random pleasures that are constantly sent to distract us, you can get more into that childlike state of having to use your imagination in order to sustain yourself instead of just taking the easy route out and this endless entertainment and all this endless dopamine fixes. Like, it's all it's doing is just distracting you, taking you outside of your mind. And like, shit, thinking about this shit now, it really goes to show how the modern society is just really fucking up our heads. You know, we're uncomfortable to be alone. I had to retrain myself to be alone. I had to retrain the idea of being comfortable with my own thoughts. But as a child, it was something that was almost natural, something I didn't even think about. It was easy. I didn't crave all this attention from other people. I didn't crave having someone constantly being there for me or some shit. Like, I just went along with my shit and did what I had to do and used my own head as a source of fulfillment. But getting back to this is that what's interesting as well is that this person was named Henry Levi. Henry Levi has been a concept for a very long time before the creation of this channel. Like I said, this is over a year ago, and this channel's been up for maybe 6 months. But I look at these points. Let me get to what it actually is. So what you're gonna do is, who is the person that does everything he is supposed to do or she is supposed to do without fail? Who is the perfect version of you? And what I want you to do is literally write these things down. Like, for example, I have like, Henry never misses a workout. Henry reads every day. Doesn't watch porn ever. Doesn't break eye contact when speaking to women or anyone in general. Never feels sorry for himself. So on and so on and so on. You need to write down all these traits. And here's what's going to happen is that you're going to start writing down these traits. And like, at first it's going to be easy. You're like, well, you know, of course I want to work out and I want to eat more healthy. Maybe I want to be more masculine, have more quality time with my family, some shit like that. But after about 7, 8, maybe 10, it's going to start getting rough. You'll be like, okay, you're going to really have to think about this shit. And then what I want you to do is keep fucking going. You need to have at least 25 to 30 points on here. I have 52. And looking at this now, I can definitely add to this now, and I will add to this. But you just need to make as many points on the person that you believe that you could be. The sort of dude that accomplishes his goals. Because like I said, we all have this guy. We all have this person. You know what the fuck you should be doing. You know this, but you're not doing it. And the purpose of having this on paper, one, for you don't forget it, but two, you can constantly remind yourself. Open this motherfucker up every morning and look at this and be like, this is the sort of person that you need to be going throughout this day. You have the blueprint. And going back to making this person more real is that this person is now your rival. I want you to wake up in the morning and understand that you are in competition with this person. You are not him. This isn't you yet. I looked back at this and I'm happy because I can see that I became more like this person than I was at this time period, but I'm still miles away from being that person. And part of gamifying life is that a game I really like to play. It was Clash Royale and Clash of Clans. I also like to play Call of Duty back when I was a real big gamer. And the magic about these games is that, especially like when you're playing multiplayer games, stuff like that, there's no end goal. You just keep fucking playing. You play and you play and you play and you play. You keep leveling up. You keep leveling up. Like, that's how they keep you playing the game. There is no end sort of prize or anything like that. The prize is that you just get to keep playing the game. And that's what you're going to find out here, is that you're never going to be this guy. And if you get to a point where you feel like you are that guy, there's probably more shit you need to add. And this is your everlasting game that you get to play every single day. You wake up and I want you to have a scoreboard of, did you win today versus Henry Levi? And the only time that you win is if when you literally kill the day and you do something brand new. Maybe you get a PR, you hit your first 10K month, you make $1,000 in a day, like something of this nature. But it's when something new happens. But any other day, any regular day, even if you put in the work, that's an L. You lost that day. You lost to that guy because that guy is fucking amazing. And you need to wake up and you need to compete against him. You know, when you wake up and you decide that you don't want to go to the gym, think to yourself, well, would Henry Levi go to the gym? Not only would Henry Levi have went to the gym, he's already done. He's back. He's working on other shit. I'm still laying in bed. But this is your competition. This is the guy you wake up against and now you have an enemy, a rival that you can face every single day. I feel like if you want to, really move the ball forward, you got to get comfortable with the monotony. You got to get comfortable with the boring. You're not going to have all these overstimulations that you can just go to. And if you do, that's going to be your life. It's just going to all these overstimulations, going for people to distract you. That's something I realized with a lot of people that I had in my life back then. I used them as just distractions, distracting me from my actual goals, distracting me from actual life. And these are not good things to have. So you create this person. You have a list. And you face that guy every single day. And you also need to have a physical idea of what this person looks like. What do you look like if you never miss the day at the gym? What do you look like if every single day you put in work on a business venture? What do you look like if you didn't give in to your social anxieties and you didn't approach girls that you wanted to talk to because you were nervous? What do you look like if you had the balls enough to go up to your boss and ask for a raise, or to go get a different job that you're scared to switch industries? Like, what does this person look like? Who is this person? I need you to have such a strong idea of this. Like, does he have tattoos? Does he wear jewelry? Literally think of every single concept you could possibly think of. And what's beautiful about this, even though you're chasing this guy, you're never going to be this guy. That guy is you. That guy is the perfect version of you. And you see how easily it can be achieved because you have it written down. You literally have a blueprint for this motherfucker. You know how this motherfucker thinks. You know the exact things that he would do. And you know it's a better version of you. You constantly remind yourself that this is the better version. And now you have to compete with that person. Because when you don't have that idea, this person, this framework set in place, you just go through life just willy-nilly, just doing whatever the fuck you want to do. You need to understand there's a version of you that's kicking ass. Like, think of it almost like a multiverse. Like, let's get into some comic book shit. Like, there's a version of you that has existed, that has done all these points non-fucking-stop. Non-stop. He's killing you in every single metric of human existence, destroying you. But you can be this guy. You can be more like this guy. Every day should be you striving to be the Henry Levi or whoever that is to you. But I just wanted to bring this exercise out to you guys because, like, this is something that actually really helped me. And I'm mad that I fell off on it. I'm going to get back into it. In fact, I'm going to add another 50 points to this. I'm going to have 100 points at the sort of person that I want to be. Because I also believe that I have to be Henry Levi in order to accomplish the goals that I want to accomplish, especially with this channel and eventually with the business, is that I know I'm going to have to be on a different level than I've been on. I got to be that guy. At this point, it's not an option. I just got to do that shit. But I hope this is helpful. This is definitely an exercise that helped change my life. If you want one-to-ones, link in the description. If this video gets 56,843 likes, we're going to do another raffle for a 12-pack of ramen noodles, but this time it's going to be shrimp. Deuces.